Do you know how raw your power has to be that Steven Spielberg also directed Schindler's List in the same year, and this is still his best film ever?
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
Every time someone says the words Hot Girl Summer, I don't picture a woman. I picture Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, he of the original slutty little glasses, a man who somehow could pull off wearing a leather jacket and nothing else on top of his body, a man who could be the dirtiest, nastiest little guy in the room and simultaneously bring out all of the best banging, pure genius lines, and be believable at doing both. Jurassic Park is one of the greatest films of all time, and that comes in everything from how the fuck did they make a T-Rex look like that in 1993, to the tiny details of including Alan Grant scaring a kid with a velociraptor claw at the beginning of the film, just so you feel the extra heart palpitations sink in there when child characters that you care about get locked in a kitchen with them later. It is a film that is so incredible on so many levels that I couldn't possibly talk about them all in just a 5 or 6 minute video. John Hammond is here, and he may look like Santa Claus, but he is evil, and this film is one of the best representations of having a character be believable, be super rich and super reckless with his money, and therefore a villain while being charismatic and not seeming at all like one. And that is a very important message modern day. Anyway, he's used science to bring back dozens of species which have been extinct for tens of millions of years and used it to make a theme park. This film was far too real about where we were headed as a society, and honestly, you could adapt Ian Malcolm's speech, the one about wielding genetic power like a kid who's found his dad's gun. You could adapt that speech for any AI company today, any company working with that sort of technology, any billionaire, any studio executive idiots who want to pump out a 7th film of a franchise that should have stopped after 1. Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler go to this theme park to approve it and get all of their epic aura moments in, even though Jeff Goldblum's trying to steal them all and put them in the back pocket of his sexy leather trousers. They meet some kids, the park goes AWOL. Samuel L. Jackson is just a guy sitting behind a computer desk because he had to wait 1 more year for Pulp Fiction to come out and his stardom to hit. It is a prize that just keeps on giving, honestly. Alan Grant hating kids, getting stuck with them, Ellie's shorts and her love of dinosaur shit, literally, Wayne Knight just being the cheekiest little bastard ever to live, and Richard Attenborough giving such incredible, rich guy who is insane and doesn't have any idea what he's doing, and yet is evil but not played as that. It's incredible. Everything is. To be able to mix a phenomenal story about the dangers of greed, rich people, and the power of science, and to have more scientific conversations than most films you've ever seen, put it all in the middle of one of the biggest blockbusters of all time, and to make it pretty much a horror film. That is just incredible. This is breathtaking. It has got some of the best acting, characters, writing, music, cinematography, and editing you've ever seen in a film. It is just insane that this worked on such a level. It isn't my favorite film of all time, but you better believe it's in the top 15 or so. It is insane. It's so good. I dare you to go down to the comment section and try to tell me something that's actually wrong with this film, a valid actual criticism. There's nothing there. Additionally, if you gave me a list of the top 10 Ian Malcolm quotes from this movie and told me it was a top 10 list of the best quotes from the 1990s, I'd probably not bat an eyelid. Steven Spielberg is a director deserving of a place on the Mount Rushmore for his job, and this is far and away for me his best film, even though his filmography looks like a who's who of the best films from the last 50 years. It's just nuts. I love films that feel like they could fit into a top 10 list for genre, for about 6 different genres. And this is exactly that. It's such a great thriller, scientific film, action-adventure film, horror film, basically. It's so many things, and it's so good at being all of them. I did notice, and this is interesting, I did notice on this most recent rewatch that the first Brachiosaurus scene, where it's all the first rising theme, that incredible scene, it has aged a little in effects. And I noticed that so much, and thought about that so much, because it's the only one that has, after over 30 years. That is just insane. I'm giving literally incomparable 5 stars. Kids who grew up with Jurassic World over like growing up with Jurassic Park, they're being born in the wrong generation. Like, brutally. Yeah, Hollywood just, I don't think they could get away with this one now. Making a film that talks about science this much, that is this scary, but is meant to be one of the biggest blockbusters out there.